they're working hard, get sent to the UK, America, whatever, to come back to the country. They're like, yeah, I'm going, but I'm coming back.
To make the country
To
better.
make the get it. I'm getting my education, my skills, whatever it may be, and I'm coming back for Qatar, which is something just fascinating to me in a sense, realistically, because you don't see that everywhere. It's not a trait that you just come across every single day.
And you mentioned, they want to contribute to the country, but I also feel like they want to be global citizens. They want to contribute to the on an international scale as well. We have we're very fortunate to teach Qatari students, and every holiday their parents are taking them to countries all over the world. So they get that sort of wider scope of life. They're seeing different experiences. So they grow in that sense as well, and you can see that they get a bit of awareness of what's going on around the world, and they want to contribute not just within Qatar but also on an international scale as well.
Assalamu alaikum. It's your brother Haq Islam all the way from our studios in Qatar. Welcome to this week's edition of the Oasis. Now, I have some special guests here with me today. The 3 wise guys of Qatar. Assalamu alaikum. Now, the wise guys. I've been watching your content all the way from New York City.
Wow.
So you're worldwide.
Wow. Hey.
Whole planet Earth.
Okay.
Got
I like
you.
that. I like that.
So let's introduce you. Please introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Ahmed. I'm a teacher in Qatar, and I'm 1/3 of the most successful podcast in Qatar called the Wise Guys Qatar.
And the brother that got the most.
No. I just eat good. I just eat good.
He's the enforcer,
He's a security too. Yeah, I like that.
I'm Ali. I'm not the enforcer.
And third,
And I'm Maddars, aka Maddar, whatever you want to go by. But like you said, I'm the 3rd host of the Wise Guys.
Yeah.
how did you meet?
I mean, a long time ago. In the UK. Obviously, we're all from the UK. And in the UK, Somalis, alhamdulillah, Somalis all sort of congregate. We stay together. We stick together. Somali communities, no matter where they are. You probably noticed that in America as well. Somalis, we stick together. And that's how we met, through family connections, being in similar communities. And we just all sort of help each other.
Now, I have friends the Somali community in Minnesota, some in New York. What's the Somali community like in the UK?
Ahmed, do you want to touch on that?
Because I want to deal with also the politics of the UK, because it's, you understand the politics of the United States, what the Somali community is going through now.
It's a bit messy right now, yeah.
Yeah, bit messy. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah,
Bit messy. You know what I'm saying? So tell me, what is it like, the Somali community vis-a-vis the state in UK?
In the UK, we're very quite tight knit. Like we're like imagine like a bowl of weave or something all together. All right. For example, if one strays far, we're rolling back in. So we all stay together. We're quite close with each other. Our families are, even though we're not cousins, we feel like family. We're cousins, but also we integrate quite very well with other communities. We got a lot of Pakistanis, where I come from, in Birmingham. Pakistanis and Asians were the first ones to, like, the first wave of Muslims that come to the UK, and then we followed suit, and then we stayed together, and we're just quite tight knit. That's the best way to describe it.
So how did each of your families make it to the UK?
to the UK. I think for me, if I go and start, my dad went to Russia, India. So he studied in Russia since he was a kid. Then went to India for his university.
It's a hell of a story.
Yeah,
You need to get your dick.
he's got a meaning.
I went from Somalia to Russia.
We went to Russia. I don't remember him saying the first day he went there, he wanted to go back because it was so cold. He didn't expect it, but he went Russia, studied in India. Then we went to Saudi,
Wow.
and then
As a family.
this
just
is
your
pre
dad.
this is pre me.
For you.
Yeah, this is my two older brothers at this point, and then Saudi, then UK. Then we came to the UK, and we've stayed around. We went around different places in the UK, and then I didn't know this, but my mom knew his mom since they were, I think, 17, 18. Lost touch, came back, reconnected in the UK. So when this guy, because he lived, where did he live before?
Denmark.
Denmark.
Yeah.
Then when they came to the UK,
Yeah. No, it's a whole. Listen, my saga's coming after left.
Yeah. There's a whole journey, right? And then when this guy came to the UK, my mom introduced me to him. So we.
And how old were you there?
Young. Yeah.
What's young?
We're talking kids. We're talking.
Yeah, 6,
Like,
7.
Yeah. I was 6, 7.
Hey.
So yeah.
Now, Ali.
Oh, you know the Denmark story, huh?
Yeah, the whole story, guy. That's
So
like,
similar. My father, he went to Saudi. He was working for an electrical engineering company there. They fit like elevators and things. So it's for Coney. It's international. So he's working there. Then he married my mom.
in Saudi.
No, back home. But then they moved to Saudi. Then he transferred to Denmark through his job, and he was working there. And then after Denmark, they sort of felt that, you know, the Muslim community wasn't the best there. So they're looking obviously for the sake of the kids. And the UK, because of, like Ahmed touched upon earlier, you've got the Southeast Asians, you know, the Pakistanis, the Bengalis, they sort of laid the groundworks. So there were a lot of, you know, masajid, there's a lot of infrastructure for Muslims there. And also I think educational-wise is a lot better as well in that sense. There's a lot more opportunities. So they made the choice to then move to the UK. And that's how I was born in Denmark though.
What was life like in Denmark?
I mean, I was a kid. Like, if you ask me, I loved it. You know, in terms of our childhood, it was very idyllic. It was amazing. Every day you're playing outdoors. It looks beautiful. You know, the infrastructure is amazing. There's little playgrounds everywhere. The grass is always cut. You know, the council is amazing, right? The place is clean. There's a lot of things going on. But obviously, speaking to my parents, because I was a kid, there was a lot of, you know, it wasn't always the best, because obviously they were like one of the first waves of immigrants to go to that country. People aren't in Denmark, they weren't really used to that. So obviously they might have faced racism in certain regards, even though it might not have been overt or explicit. Little questions that might
grow aggression.
That's it. And at times they're reminded, you know, that they don't really belong here. People are asking things like, if my mom was in the shopping center, oh, where are you from? When are you gonna go back? You know, questions that is. And it might be quite innocent from them, right? They're just actually curious. They don't know.
But they don't have no filter.
That's it.
You know, where you from and when you going back.
That's it. And then my mom used to say to them, Erka, right? And then
Let this air come in.
that means the sky, right? I didn't think it's a real place. And obviously I learned Danish at the time, so I would translate it. And then one was looking at me, because I didn't know. I understood the sky.
But adding to
Ahmed, your story?
Yeah, but adding to what Ali said, there's a lot of Somalis that come from places like Denmark, Sweden, Finland, and Holland. They come to the UK, and as you were saying, there's a lot of institutional racism in those areas, right? You might not get the same opportunities at university that you do in the UK in those areas. So when parents come, they want better opportunities for the kid, like you said. But adding to that, I think like I remember I have a lot of friends that came from those areas. As a child, they love that place. Denmark is amazing. But when you grow up and you want to get a job, you know, want to get opportunities, the UK is more open-minded in terms of university. Like, if you fail, God forbid, you have options to retake. But over there, you gotta like work twice as hard. So it's just institutional racism. But you were saying, sorry, back to
Your story.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Now, because we got their story, now how did your family wind up in the UK?
So my father, right? I was born in Saudi as well, just like we all have stories from Saudi Arabia, but we didn't know each other back then. And our parents didn't know each other, but we all grew up there at one point. So my father used to work in Saudi Arabia, then he retired and then he said, you know what, let's go start a life, go back to Somalia, and then war happened, you know, a lot of issues over there. Then he went to the UK and then got us to the UK.
So it sounds like life in the UK was good.
I'd say for me, it was top tier.
Yeah.
Top tier. I've never experienced anything that I wouldn't not say is not good.
Yeah.
From primary, secondary, to university, to work, I've never experienced anything for me to say I would never go back there. I lived a good life in the UK.
That's fascinating
Yeah.
for me,
Right.
coming from my experience in America, because we get macroaggression, microaggression, aggression. We get it all.
The whole lot, yeah.
Yeah, a whole.
Well, you get that in the UK as well, but I think we just sort of got used to it. I think so. We got immune to fence things. He's just like a back of a duck's water, something like that. What's that called?
What?
Like
When you're just brushing
yeah,
it
you
side to the
push it
side.
yeah, you're like yeah.
like the racism obviously does exist.
Yeah.
But in the UK, people live, there's pockets where you live in certain pockets where, you know, you're around your people. And then the way the government has set up, you know, the universities, the education system, you kind of protected from that, you know, by and large, and you get the opportunities to excel and to do well. But of course, it's not to say there's no racism in the UK. There's certain areas if you go to where, you know, there's a lot more, for example, white people in comparison to, like, you know, blacks or Asians. You may you know, be prone to experience more racism, and people that probably grew up in those areas, they probably got different experiences to us. But obviously where we grew up in areas that were concentrated largely, you know, by people that have come to the country from different places. Like, for example, London is you know, is a multicultural haven, you know. So many different nationalities. It's rich in that sense, where you're learning and you're becoming a global citizen. There's a lot of beauty in that. And I think the UK is very open-minded to that and embracing of that. So yeah, I agree, like what the boys are saying.
And
also had a really, really good experience growing up in the UK as well. It's been very, very positive.
And also, Jamaicans came to the UK first, and they set the groundwork for it as well. As Black people, they went through most of the burden. They went through most of the struggle. And then when we came later on in the 90s, like everything was, you know, sort of a bit easier for us.
Also like the Southeast Asians as well.
Yeah.
You know, the Pakistanis, the Bengalis, they also sort of bear the brunt of that, you know. So we, yeah, like I was saying, we were the latter stages. So we kind of came in when, you know, they had their first hit, you know, all of that. They sort of took the hit for us.
Alhamdulillah, this is an amazing conversation for me because it's so eye-opening. And the key word that I'm getting from all of you is the opportunity. Like the UK gave you opportunities that no other place gave you.
Yeah.
They gave you an opportunity to get a good education. So each one of y'all are teachers. So let's go through your educational experience that got you to teaching.
So I came to the UK 16 years old. So I knew how to speak English, write English, but I missed a lot of years of school because I lived in the motherland for a little bit. And, you know, my dad was getting the documents sorted, the visas coming to the UK. So when I came to the UK, I came towards the latter stage of year 10, starting year 11. So that's like senior high school, basically. And then a lot of the kids, they knew what they were going to do for the exams. They knew the GCSEs, everything. GCSEs is like their final exam for high school. So I didn't know what was going on. So I failed majority of those except English because I like things I used to read at home, all that stuff. But when it comes to the opportunities in the UK, like other nations, I don't know, but if they failed high school, then you gotta, like, you know, figure out your life. But in the UK, there's university, not university, colleges that if you fail your GCSEs, they take you, they give you two opportunities. You can do something called the BTEC, or you could retake your IGCSEs and they'll support you with that. Government paid for everything. So I retook all my IGCSEs and I passed. Then I went to university. And from then on,
What did you study?
I studied English, language and literature.
Ali?
Yeah, similar. I did English language as well.
Yeah.
Obviously through my GCSEs and whatnot, my goal was also I wanted to be a lawyer, right? And I think towards the final stages, I'd even did an internship. I got a place at Warwick University for law. I was loving life, and then my mom just decided to, you know, to just switch up on law and say law's haram. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I just got, I'm trying to celebrate, you know? It was, no, this law you're going to be practicing is not Islamic law, and your money's not going to be. And every day I kept hearing this and this. And obviously for me, I'm one of those people where I need my mother's blessing. No matter what I do, you know, I'm a huge believer in having your parent one behind you. As you know, this world, like, we're only here for a short amount of time. It's a very finite period of time. But the connection you have with your parents is otherworldly, you know? That's where all the barakah comes from. And my mom was really, really upset, you know, that I was going to pursue law. So I thought, okay, you know what? Let me switch the major, as you call it, to English. Because obviously if I did English, at the end of it, there's this thing called GVL where you can convert to law. And then you can still get the equivalent of a law degree. So I thought, okay, that buys me 3 years now. And I could convince her and they'll speak, you know? It doesn't really just, no, it's not what you think it is. But then obviously during that time, you know, I was getting into, there was a lot, obviously with English, doing an English major, Ahmed can attest to this as well. People study English. There's so many different opportunities they have. There's people that are going into marketing, people going into journalism, people going into law. There's so many different things because obviously the skills that you're learning are inherently very
Allows you to communicate.
that's it. And of course you can transition with those skills. So yeah, I think as I got into it, I started to open my mind a bit more to teaching. I started working with this guy. He had a tutoring company. So I was doing things with him during my time, and I really liked he was telling me about structures of schools and how things are. And then I opened my mind to teaching, and I got into it, and I love it because I think it suits my personality, my style, my ethics, and it feels morally very rewarding. So alhamdulillah, Allah has the best of plans. We plan, but Allah has the best of plans.
Oh, you guys are amazing.
For sure.
Maddox, yours.
For me, teaching was not in the picture for me at all. For me, because I did a biological and chemical science degree, so I was more of the science guy. And only reason I really went into that because of my whole family, especially my sister. Shout her out, done her PhD now. Shout you out over there.
MashaAllah.
And that was called. So she was doing hers. I've done mine. I worked for Shell, so I was working for Shell Energy. I was in the more oil and energy side of the field
In the UK.
in the UK. So I was working different side, business analyst, data and insight. And then a year before lockdown, I had a lot of my cousins and nephews just coming to the house. And that I'm getting done babysitting. Oh, teach them this, teach them that, cool. Teach them a bit of science. And I enjoyed it. Enjoyed it. Lockdown came. I got tired of my job because I was locked in the box, didn't want to do this. And I was the only one working from home at the time, whereas the rest were working wherever they were working. And I had 6 kids coming to my house from secondary, so high school to preschool. So I'm here teaching them now, making sure they've done this. And I genuinely enjoyed it. Following year, I said, okay, I'm doing my teaching degree. So I went back, done a year for the teaching degree, got into the teaching. And then ever since, that's my story now. And I genuinely, like these guys said, it's very rewarding and no day's the same. So I've taught you, you understand this concept now. I get a little buzz. I'm like, yes, you finally understand it. It might have taken me 6 weeks, but you got it, which is amazing. And you're like nurturing the future generation.
So with all this love for the UK, what was the factor that made you leave?
Honestly, for me, like Ahmed would probably say, UK is always going to be home. But the reason I think I moved is more so experience the world a little bit. Because I lived in Saudi before. Let me go back there, see what's changed. More Muslim country. These guys were already there. I've heard nothing but positive, feedback. So I said, let me go try it. For me, it was nothing but a trial. But now, this is slowly becoming home for me personally. But these guys have a bit more different
But there's something happened to jettison you here. So the light bulb went off and said, Qatar.
I was the first to come out of the boys. For me, choosing Qatar was because obviously, to answer the first question, the reason why I wanted to leave the UK, I love the UK. I even enjoyed teaching there. And I know we'll probably touch on that later. But moving to Qatar is obviously, I think, obviously in this world, we're here for a purpose, I believe. As a Muslim, is a huge reason why we're here. We're here to, of course, worship and try to do good as much as you can. And being in a non-Muslim country, at times it can be more difficult. And if I'm in a position where I can place myself in a country that's a Muslim country where it's easier for me, to practice my religion, the things I'm seeing, I'm hearing the adhan, I'm waking up to the adhan. These are things that are making, my life and my life's goal a lot easier for me. Why not, make that move? Obviously, our families came to UK for opportunities, but I think now in this region of the world, there's a lot of opportunities here as well. And as a Muslim, I think it makes more sense.
But why did you choose Qatar?
Now, the 2 options I was looking at was the UAE.
So you were the first one out of the 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, okay, please continue. The first one was UAE.
I was looking at the UAE. I just felt it was a bit more commercialized than what I wanted. Qatar seemed, at the time when I was looking at it, it looked like it was more family centric. It looked like it held on to those core values, and it felt like a place where I could, settle. and achieve what I wanted to achieve, and everything I thought it was and more. So alhamdulillah, it was a really good decision as well. And of course, the World Cup was coming around as well. At the time, I was like, hey, I mean, that did add to it. It made it a bit easier for me to make the choice. So yeah, that was the reason. So then, of course, I came, I experienced things, and then I gave the sign for the boys back home that it's a nice place.
Okay, who was number 2?
Me, yeah.
Okay, what prompted you outside of Ali's encouragement?
For me, it started in 2019. So my cousin was a teacher in the UAE. So I was going to the motherland to visit, and there's a transit where you could stay in Dubai for like 2 years, 2 days, 3 days, something like that. So me and my mom stayed in Dubai for a little bit. And then I see the way my cousin was living. I'm like, okay, she's living good. Okay, I like this. But I didn't want to jump into it. But my mom was saying, you could, go to the UAE, save a little bit of money, come back, explore the world. You've always been looking after, because I've been looking after my parents for a long time. So now I grew up a little bit. My younger brothers are much older. They got jobs. She said, they'll take care of us. You go explore, do your thing. Even for university, I stayed in Birmingham so I could stay with my mom. She was ill at the time. So anyways, around 2020, COVID came. And then I was doing my teaching degree, and it's quite tough because not a lot of schools were accepting people because of the pandemic. Things were getting all confusing. And then Hadi said, hey, Qatar is kind of nice. Why don't you just come here? I said, nah, not yet. I'll just wait a little bit. And then he didn't even convince me. Then one day he posted something and I was like, whoa, that's Qatar? Then I applied, came over. Unfortunately, we're supposed to work in the same school, but things didn't line up then. Then I went to another school, but I still came to Qatar. This is best choice ever, man. We call him Christopher Columbus. Yeah, because he never discovered it. And then he's like, yo, there's gold over here. There's herbs. Come here. We all keep running, man. So yeah. So that's
hope Christopher Columbus ain't a good.
I know.
Just I had to throw that.
He said the same thing to me every time. He's like, don't call me that. Don't call me
Let's
that.
call him Hannibal or something. Hannibal discovered southern Spain. All right, go ahead, brother.
No, for me it was just literally because he went nothing but good news, and I said, let me go, because I like traveling anyway. So I said, I'll use this as a quick little destination trip, and I'll come back. I was not planning to stay, but at the moment I landed, things changed. It feels now this is slowly becoming at home for sure. So
that's how I feel too. All right, so the whole process of coming, you got to explain, because there's people out there that want to know, hey, those wise guys, I love their podcast, I love their story. How do I leave New York City, Toronto, Great Britain to become a teacher in Qatar?
I say stay where you are. Don't be coming in. No. I mean, I think people make it seem more arduous and difficult than it actually is. It's not.
That's the hell of a word, arduous. That was a good one.
He's flexing out. He's flexing out. I think it's a jacket. He's got after the juice. He's got the vocab flying today. But I think people make it sound more taxing than it actually is. It's not a difficult process.
I was an English minor, so you could go ahead. Arduous is it?
No, but if you have, of course, you're a teacher, or if you want to become a teacher, of course, become a teacher within the remits of your country, go through the process that you need to, and then of course you can easily apply to schools out here.
But how do you do it?
I mean,
what do you just go online and
you just go online? They've got all types of educational routes here. They've got IB, like the American system. They've got Canadian. They've got the British system. They've got Canadian. They've got Finnish. They've got a lot of different things, and they're very open to getting teachers from abroad that are going to add value to the education system here. So I don't think it's anything difficult. You just apply online. But of course, the difficult part is doing the research, because of course I think schools internationally, compared to, I can only speak for the UK, is a whole different ballgame. In the UK, we've got unions, we've got proper, systems in place to protect teachers. It's very, teachers are mollycoddled. We're protected. It's quite nice. You've got laws and things protecting. Whereas I think here, even though you are, of course, protected by laws and whatnot, it's not the same in that sense. It's a lot more corporate.
There's no union.
It's private. It's private schools. It's very corporate. And of course, teachers, especially from the UK that come out here, they've come from that mindset where, they've got all these unions and whatnot, and then they come here and they go through certain situations and they realize it can be very cutthroat, it's very, like I said, it's very corporate minded. I don't know if you boys feel the same.
No,
I agree. So there's a lot of lazy teachers in the UK that come over here thinking, oh, it's an easier ride. I'll just get good money, walk around, be lazy with the lessons, not do my planning. And they're found out like that. The kids are not stupid. They could see a teacher if they prepare the lesson or not. And if the kids pick on of you being lazy, then of course, senior management is going to notice that too. And then it'll just bring problems for you. You got to be passionate to work here. You got to actually love your job, because it's very, very taxing at times.
No, you really do. But in terms of how would they get here and how would they apply, in the UK, there's a website called TES.com, where you just log it and you just simply apply like a normal job application. I'm assuming if you're American or South African, because a lot of South Africans here too, you can still log onto that website and just shoot your CV over. It's pretty simple, like these guys were saying. It's not a hoo-ha or taxing.
So from the CV, there's an interview.
CV, then you do an online interview first and foremost. Once you
via Zoom
or Google Meets, whatever it is. Once you do that, then they might ask you to plan a 10-minute lesson for your interview me now, but I've got to teach you 10 minutes of whatever it may be. This is how mine was. And then from there, you'll just hear. So it's usually a two-stage interview. Sometimes it might be 3. If you're here within Qatar, they'll ask you to come in. For example, if these teachers within Qatar, if I want to go to his school, I'll go and teach an actual lesson because it's easy access. But if you're abroad, wherever you are in the world, it would be Zoom, Google Meets, 2-step process usually.
So some schools, they also actually partner with like recruitment agencies, and they hold like events where you can come in and have live interviews with people. So it's more face to face as well at times. So obviously you should sort of be aware of that, and sort of keep tabs of some of these teaching recruitment agencies, because they'll let you know when these events are happening, which obviously makes it a lot easier for you as well, because I think Zoom sometimes is a bit difficult, to showcase your skill, what you can do. Whereas when you meet people, someone in real life, it's a lot easier.
But also, if you know someone that works in a school you're interested in, sometimes you could send your friend the CV and they could just pass you on over to the HR department.
And how do you select a school? Do you select the school or someone selects the school for you?
No, you apply directly.
You should apply directly to the school.
Yeah.
So you do your research on the school.
Exactly. So you have to do your due diligence before you come, because you don't want to come, travel, let's say all the way from New York, X amount of hours, you've done no research and you don't like it. That's all. Then you're in a bit of a pickle, as I would say. Or if you've traveled with your family, you don't want to do a big move with your whole family. So it's definitely your own research is definitely important. Never, because even though I when I got this role, I asked Ali about it. Cool, he's like, do this is good. Well, I still had to do my own research before I came out. I can't just go word of mouth. You've got, because every school gets credited. There's a whole accreditation process. There's WASC. There's, what's the other one? There's WASC. What's the English one again?
What, in the UK?
In the UK, yes. Ofsted. So there's different ones. So you just got to look into their report.
In terms of international teaching, there's actually a website called ISR, International School Review. Subscription based, but it's quite interesting because you can search up all schools, like across the Gulf. I think internationally speaking, but and then teachers actually put reviews on there about schools. So you can actually see real life experiences that teachers have had in that school. Now, I mean, it is good to check, but I feel like people leaving reviews are often people that have been through a difficult time. You're having a great time. You're not rushing to put a review sometimes. It's someone who's feeling a sense, gone through a difficult period, that will be more inclined to leave a review, but still good to sort of read up on that and see what you gauge what's going on in the schools before you actually make that jump.
What do you teach?
We teach English, science.
So I teach science, So I teach chemistry and physics primarily. A little bit of biology, but not so much.
Chemistry and physics. But tell me, what are the kids like?
But here?
Yeah.
I love the kids here, man. I'm not going to lie. The kids here, they come with energy. They've got energy. From 7 in the morning till the last second of the school, they've got energy. And they're so open. Do you know when I was coming here, I was like, oh, okay, I've got to learn Arabic again. I've got to fit the culture again. But no. This TikTok, Instagram world, this phone has broken all those barriers.
But before we have to preface, obviously, our schools, we've got a large contingent of like Qatari students.
Yeah, Qatari students.
So
Yeah.
a lot of them are Qatari students. Obviously, other schools, they might have more expat students, so it's different experiences. But yeah, I second what Maddar has said. I absolutely love it as well. I think the students here are phenomenal, especially considering the cultural like nuances, and you look at things like the background of the students. Obviously, when teaching in the UK is a lot different to coming out here in the UK. If you're teaching in an inner city school, a lot of those students, education is the way out for them. There's different ways where you try to motivate these students, but they think coming here, how do you motivate someone who's
Got it all.
yeah, he's got to drive away from outside, like he's got more money than you can imagine, like he's got everything. Like, how do you motivate someone like that? But
So what's the motivation?
what surprised me first, though, was the fact these students are already inherently motivated. I think because of the way their family's set up, because of the way the government has pushed education and placed importance on education, the students naturally see great value in education. And I think teachers here at times it can be argued are more respected than teachers back home.
Yeah.
They really put teachers very, very, very high, especially the parents. The parents will always say, look, teachers, they have a great respect for teachers and the education system. In terms of motivating students, though, I think it's very similar to the UK.
Yeah.
We're in a different, we always talk about this. We're in a different era now of children, of students. I mean, back in the day, students, they wouldn't, like you said, education was their sort of way out. If I'm teaching in an inner city school, certain students don't have the cultural capital or, certain aspects. They rely on you as a teacher to teach them certain things. Whereas now we're in the age of information. It's kind of evened out the playing field, so all students get access to the same information because of social media, because of online resources. They have a wider scope of what they want from life. So as a teacher, you have to obviously be aware of that. There's a sense of apathy now, indifference. Kids aren't really interested at times in education, because they feel like, I'm seeing social media superstars just making videos from their phone. Why do I need to study maths right now? So you have to, as a teacher, find different ways to keep them entertained, keep them engaged. And I think that's why we've done really well. We try to, keep them. We understand that now because of fleeting attention spans, you have to be the entertainer. You have to almost be like a social media, personality from the kids, make them enjoy the lesson, make them, almost, captivated by you.
Yeah.
Now, it appears to me, just as an observer, that people here, particularly the Qataris I know, are motivated by making a contribution to the state.
Mm-hmm.
Like a contribution to making Qatar great.
Yes.
Do you see that?
No, that's 100% true.
100% true.
It
Yeah.
still happens. Even we take it back to the school. Every morning, national anthem plays. No matter where you are, no matter who you are, it is expected for you to stand still and get up, pause, whatever you're doing, pause. And this goes back to what you're just saying, because every student's now thinking, I want to do this. Why do you want to do this? Or my dad did this, but I've got to do it better. There's always, or my dad did this, I've got to do it better. But it's that questioning of, and a lot coming back to what Ali was just saying, they're working hard, get sent to the UK, America, wherever, to come back to the country. They're like, yeah, I'm going, but I'm coming back.
To make the country
To
better.
make the get it. I'm getting my education, my skills, whatever it may be, and I'm coming back for Qatar, which is something just fascinating to me in a sense, realistically, because you don't see that everywhere. It's not a trait that you just come across every single day.
And you mentioned, they want to contribute to the country, but I also feel like they want to be global citizens. They want to contribute to the on an international scale as well. We have we're very fortunate to teach Qatari students, and every holiday their parents are taking them to countries all over the world. So they get that sort of wider scope of life. They're seeing different experiences. So they grow in that sense as well, and you can see that they get a bit of awareness of what's going on around the world, and they want to contribute not just within Qatar but also on an international scale as well.
Okay, but this also comes to the government. They have a lot of wealth. Yes, that's true. But a lot of countries in the world have wealth. But what they focused on was education and their citizens. So they look after their citizens education-wise. Schools for a lot of Qataris are free. They get free health benefits. The government looks after the country. So if the government looks after you, then as a citizen, you say, you know what, I want to do something for my government, pay it back. So
Alhamdulillah.
yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I really like it here, because you feel a sense of pride, belonging, people that want to contribute to making it better, and back home, everybody wants to contribute to making themselves better.
Yeah, it was a crab. What's it called? Crab in a bucket mentality.
Yeah.
Back home.
But also back home, when you see, corrupted politicians not caring about you, you sort of lose that interest of giving back to community, right? If you're paying taxes and then you're getting finessed up, from the top, then you just lose all motivation to do anything.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
You see the greed at the top.
Yeah. Over here, it trickles down. Like, they look up to everyone.
So how is the pay
So that
and other benefits?
and the other benefits. So you get a benefit. First of all, the main one of the benefits is tax free. Your salary is your salary, whatever that may be.
So let's stop there, because in the U.S., wherever you go,
Yeah.
you still gotta pay
I was just about to say
U.S.
that.
taxes.
Okay, that's US then.
No, seriously. So that's not an issue with the UK.
No,
You make your money here.
you make your money, that's you. Whatever you're making, that's 100% you. But I believe, if I may be wrong, this is something they're looking to introduce. There's something called a 5% tax if you're abroad within the next 10 years. So still not close, but within the horizon, that's something they're thinking about.
Before you leave, just do your own research. Because when you leave in the UK, you gotta do the right thing. You can't just say, all right, I'm gonna go to Qatar now, buy UK,
And do my own
pay
thing.
a tax. Because when you come back, there'll be consequences.
Yeah.
You gotta like do your own research, be ready for the move, notify the correct, people that need to know.
As an American, we know wherever you go,
IRS after you guys.
wherever you go on earth, we getting that money
Yeah.
I'm really watching, huh?
all the time, all the time. Benefits.
IRS is they just chase everyone. They just know what you're doing 24/7.
Man, shoot. The little guy,
Yeah.
the big guy, don't matter.
All right. Because the first time I ever heard of IRS, right? I'm a huge fan of Wesley Snipes. I love his movies. Yeah. I love that guy. You kind of just like,
Dude, I was just going to say that.
but I love Wesley Snipes, right?
Hey, today, yeah.
Yeah. So I was just watching. There was
Nice jacket. Why you joning on the brother like that? That's a nice
no, we love it. We love it.
It's nice feather right here.
I might take it.
Look like it came straight from that's like calf skin.
So we get money.
So, yeah.
So what we saying?
So I just watching Wesley Snipes when they're being chased by the courts, and you have to pay like 12 million to IRS. I'm like, how is he pay? What's going on with them? That's how I know the IRS, man. They're so here.
Real life story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad for Wesley.
Yeah, it went a bit wrong. But in terms of the teaching, in terms of salary, which what you were saying, it varies. They'll base it based on your home country, whatever that is, America, Africa, Ireland, or the UK. So they base it on that, but within that, there's also a range of salaries.
But also benefits, you mentioned benefits, like your healthcare is covered. I know it's a big thing in America. Some schools pay for transportation. Some schools offer transportation, or they'll give you money to, get yourself a car. Or housing is a massive thing. They offer you housing as well. So a lot of your basic, needs are essentially covered.
Mashallah. So yo, you better, whoever's out there, better contact the Wise Guys or go to one of them websites. See, you know what I'm saying?
If you contact Wise Guys, though, we're taking tips.
There's a little coffee going on.
That's why they wise. All right, let's talk about the podcast.
Okay.
The podcast which got us here. Worldwide fame. Wise Guys.
Wow.
Well, guys,
Oh, listen, that might have to be the bio now. Change on Instagram.
Where did the name Wise Guys come from? And don't tell me because we're teachers. It's a little deeper than that.
That's my man over here.
Yeah, go for it.
So the Wise Guys was a podcast. It was an idea, something we wanted to do. So when I first came, obviously I came just before the World Cup. Ahmed came, I came the year before the World Cup, and then obviously Ahmed came just before World Cup as well. Ahmed's the one that had the, social media prowess. I was very dark on social media. Maddar's the same. We didn't really care for social media in that sense. We wanted privacy. Ahmed was the one that, he'd always make content, and he makes some great videos as well.
Yeah, content king, as I call him.
Sabi.
So he had that mindset, that he had that sort of ability to create, to entertain and whatnot. And we're always aware of that, you know, and if we can support, we'd always support. But making a podcast when I came to Qatar is something that was always in the back of my head, and it's something I always wanted to sort of do. Then when Ahmed came, you know, that sort of pushed the desire even more. Now, one of the big reasons why I wanted to make a podcast was, I think the catalyst was the World Cup. The World Cup, in my opinion, the best World Cup of all time. I think one of the best sporting events has happened in terms of the way it was organized, the way the people were catered for, people were getting free data, free public transportation. The stadiums were phenomenal. And then obviously the country itself is an absolute spectacle. But then you compare that to, you know, the international media representation, and it's quite skewed, it's quite negative, you know. And I felt a sense of injustice that no one's really showcasing the reality, you know. It was sort of, it annoyed me. And obviously Qataris by nature, even though they contribute not just domestically but internationally, they're not, within their nature, they don't really like to showboat or showcase or sing their own praises or toot their own horn. They're not going to tell those stories, you know. They do it, and they do it for the betterment of whatever they're doing it for. Just like the World Cup, they wanted to put on a great event. So that was one of the reasons. Of course, Ahmed had a social media. He came to Qatar. He was making his videos, and then at some point he wanted to stop making these videos. And he had a big platform. I think around 40 to 50K on TikTok, which is quite massive. And he wanted to just quit. And then I thought, okay, let's make a you know, a podcast. I sort of told him about that idea. He loved the idea. In the UK, Ahmed some of him and his friends, they had a group called the Unwise Guys.
Yeah. The Unwise Guys is crazy.
I remember at the time I was thinking a lot about names as well. So I said, what do you think, Wise Guys? And he goes, I was thinking the same thing. He was like, I was thinking the same thing. Because obviously I thought he might see us like
As a slap on it.
but it's more of an ode to, you know, his past in social media.
Yeah.
And obviously other social media groups have something similar, you know, of that sort of ilk. So we thought, okay. And then obviously Maddar pulled up. We pitched it to Maddar. He gives phenomenal ideas, adds to it, and then of course we bring it together. And alhamdulillah, that's how we sort of came about.
Yeah, that's how the tree grew.
But it started, we were out to do something huge, but it didn't work out. But then we found a team that believes in us in Via Arabia. So these guys came to us, hey, because we first came to them to do this huge show, didn't pan out. And then they contacted again as we were looking for a podcast studio. And then Via Arabia said, hey, guys, you know, shout out Shelburne and Nadeem and Sam as well, that's our team. So they said to us, hey, guys, you know how you had the idea before? Let's do something. And we had the podcast, they had the production, we came together, and then the rest is history, man. Like Wise Guys, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What was your first show?
I think it was
It was a solo.
Yeah, it was a solo. 10 minutes.
It was like 8-minute podcast. And the first one, because the reason was we said let's get TikTok and Instagram clips. That's it. There was no
long form.
no long form. Just we got a lot of clips. So one of us asking a question, the other two are answering. Cut. Next one. What's the next one? So we did that. Yeah. It was an 8-minute video. That was our first ever podcast. And I remember telling these guys, we can't upload this on YouTube. They're like, no, we can't. It was crazy.
What's the mission? What's the mission?
The mission is, you know, when you look at social media nowadays, you see a lot of rotten content, right? You see a lot of like the young generation, they're all doing, you know, X stuff, and you know,
That's defined rotten.
rotten as in like it doesn't add value to your life. You get it? For example, like, you know, dancing is cool, it's fun, it's amazing. But nowadays you see kids just consuming a lot of content that's just, you know, rotting their brain. I don't want to say what it is, but it's just, we thought, okay, we're old enough now, we could, you know, do a reset, like a clean reset, you know, talk about life, give out advices, share experiences with teachers. We know how to entertain them a little bit. So we just want a clean restart for kids and anyone that's watching, to be honest.
Yeah, it's like Ahmed usually says, there's a culture reset.
Yeah,
as you
culture
say.
reset, yeah.
So it was mainly focusing on the positives of this world. Of course, we're 3 black guys from Britain, Somali, Muslim. So we're in a lot of different pockets. So we need to showcase a positive representation of these different pockets that we're in. And honestly speaking, like Ahmed just said, there wasn't something that can say, my younger brother now, he's calling me saying, oh, my friend likes your video, this, because they can see it's not just a generic route that they can take. There's another route, and you can do it positively and with honor and pride. Now I know right now, one of the future, if any of my kids or whatever watching, I did not say or do anything that sort of they can feel a bit, well, Dad, you did this, or you said this, or you spoke like this. No, nothing clean, respectable, that my family right now, they can share, and we can sit down and watch. The whole family can turn something on and hear what's going on.
We're proud of it.
Yeah.
Is there a target audience?
Well, one of the sort of main reasons why we also wanted to do it, to make this podcast, was I think innately humans, we love storytelling, you know, and we felt there was a lot of amazing stories that we wanted to, you know, showcase and talk about, and we see ourselves as almost now like the cultural front door of Qatar, you know, showcasing you know, what Qatar really is, from locals to residents to expats. There's a lot of stories to businessmen, business owners. You know, we want to do women empowerments. There's a lot of amazing stories, a lot of amazing people that are here, and we want to platform them, have those conversations, and also share our experiences. Like we said, you know, Qataris by nature, they're not going to toot their own horn. They're not going to showboat and showcase what they've done, but these stories are still very important. And I think for us as expats who are Muslim, who have come here, you know, we can have those conversations, and target audience. We want to bridge the gap between locals and residents within Qatar, but also, you know, on an international scale. We didn't know obviously how far it would reach. You know, you're talking about New York, people in New York watching us. That's crazy to us. But of course, people are interested in Qatar, and Qatar is a major player on the global scale now, on the global stage. People want to know what Qatar really is. I feel like international, you know, legacy media is not really reporting on Qatar in my opinion, in a fair way at all times. But that's amazing things happening here, and we want to platform that.
That's a very important point, because you guys been able to grow your audience. And is there a methodology to it, or is it organic, or?
Yeah, it's all organic, but it's literally nothing but hard work. Generally, we just say the more we're out there, the more naturally you'll grow.
We try to post a video every single day.
Yeah.
But not any just nonsense. Something with a message. It could be a big message, it could be a small message, or we try to post something every day. And when people look at our content, you know, they can relate to us. You know, 3 normal guys, people love that. We're not rappers, we're not flashy, we don't show cars, we don't show our lifestyle, we don't, oh, today I'm eating this. We do some of that stuff just to be relatable. But we don't, when you look at us, you're very relatable.
Yeah.
Oh, I could do this. I like these guys.
I think our teaching background helps us a lot as well. Yes. You know, keeping them engaged. The main important thing for us is when we're recording the episodes, we don't even at times think too much about the cameras or the people watching. We think more about the experience of the guest, you know, and each time the guest says they felt very relaxed, they enjoyed it. A lot of times they stay like an hour after the shoot, and we just talk candidly, wrapping it. We all say, hey, that could have been a podcast in itself, you know. But we're just very human focused, you know, like people focused. Like we just like to have those conversations, and like I said, our teaching backgrounds helps us you know, have those engaging conversations, ask questions. We know when to, you know, put the focus on each other, because there's 3 of us, we can bounce off each other and bring the mood up a bit at times. We can also be quite serious and have those serious conversations as well. And we've enjoyed the conversations we're having. The guest has enjoyed it. And then by and large, the audience then also finds some benefit in it as well.
Yeah.
For each of you, who was the most impactful guest?
Impactful guest. Let me think.
So I can't say, me personally, I can't say anyone where that's one impactful guest. Obviously, looking at it from the outside, you might think our guest selections is quite random, it's quite, you know, arbitrary. It's just, but we've been very like meticulous. We discuss every single guest and who we try and get on, because we feel like that's an important story we want, you know, to have on our platform. Like I said, we want to either showcase it's a local, you know, a Qatari local. People want to see, you know, what their mindset is like, what they want to talk about, and whether it's a resident, someone who's been here, who grew up here, what has their experience been like? If it's an expat, a business owner, and all of them bring impact in their own way. You can't place, you know, a value on experiences, you know, and it all adds to the wider picture. So I'd say I can't just say one specific one. That's been guests that we've been like, wow.
Yeah, like personally, I can change it to a personally.
Yeah.
In terms of personally for me, one that I was like, wow, okay, we really are doing something now. it was Billy Wingrove, who's a big international football freestyler guy who's huge. He's huge. He was part of a thing. You'll probably see him down the line.
We grew up watching him.
Yeah, we grew up
Yeah.
watching the guy. I love football like crazy. Used to watch him, then go try his skills. So for me, when we done that episode, it really hit me thinking, wow, there's emotion behind this now. It's going somewhere. To the point where I had, on the same video, I rang my little brother and said, "Here, you need to speak to in the video." Like there and then. It was a FaceTime. And he was coming back from university at the time. He was looking at it. So for me, that one really said, that's it. We need to really keep locking and keep moving. It gave me a recharge, an extra battery on that one for me personally. I don't know about you guys.
For me, I love all of them equally, honestly. I like all our guests.
It's very political.
Yeah.
No. I'm telling you the raw truth.
Yeah, I love that one them all, man, because they all, you know, gave us a story, right? They helped grow a platform. Like every single guest we had went viral, and it's the way we produced it, the way we, you know, meticulously planned it. We don't just sit down and we just there's a method.
There's a method to madness, definitely.
Yeah.
Because we try to get certain guests, if it's aligning within an event, if there's something coming down the line,
Yeah.
if it's a message that needs to go out. For example, we had one of my personal favorites, again, to be honest with you, I'm giving out all the personal favorites, was some guy named Abdurrahman, who's a local Qatari, who owns a business, Frame. Shout out Frame. Make sure you check it out. If you're local, make sure you check it out.
Cafe in Qatar.
That's one of the best coffee I've ever had, by the way. V60. That's the only V60 coffee I drink. By him, for example.
What is V60?
Is a type of coffee. Yeah, like a strong coffee. You know what? We'll take you. Yeah, we'll take you there. We'll take you there. And I forgot what I was saying.
Talking about Abdurrahman, the impact he's had on you.
Oh, no. Yeah. Because he's he started the coffee journey. And again, my sister's starting her coffee journey now. So again, that was another one. Oh, Abdurrahman, how'd you start? I'm giving all this message to my sister. Again, that's another personal one. And it's things like this, to be fair. And I think for you, what about, you're not going to mention your student, the ex-student that came on?
I mean, yeah, but I've got my personal, like, I'm like, oh wow, yeah, that's really nice. But like I said before, like to say one, like the most impactful one is very difficult.
But you had a student that came on?
Not a student, a former student. He graduated, but obviously he came on, and we had great conversations with him. People abroad, like I said, they want to know what Qataris are like. You know, they've got, in my opinion, skewed misconception. They've got this sort of idea of what Qatar is like. They might think, oh, it's flashy or it's this or that, but then you see them and you see how they talk, and you know how well educated they are, how well spoken they are, their demeanor, their sort of view on life. People are very taken aback, and
Humility
as well. And it's something we always talk about as well, even just like from the way they're dressed, that sense of uniformity. They're all wearing white, despite the fact that, you know, they can be wearing the best designers if they really want to be, with the craziest watches, but they're all dressed the same. It's just plain white thobe. They're wearing the same, you know, the qitra it's the sense of uniform. Nobody's trying to showcase, oh, I'm better than anyone. It's very humble despite their success and the wealth that they have. And like we said, so we love having Qataris on. We also love having locals on, you know, residents, expats.
Everyone's welcome. We have more.
I'll have you on one time as well. Yeah, we gotta get you on the podcast too. We need to know about you. I know you got a crazy story. We did our research. Yeah, we done your research. We need you on. We need a legend on.
Okay.
Is that no? Is that yes?
Yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely. No, I enjoy you, brothers. So, you know, someone at the Web Summit told me that the most important currency now, as we move into the future with AI and whatever, is great storytelling. Because the Chat GPT can't really give you life stories, right? What do you guys think about that?
We agree with that, obviously. We were talking about it last week, actually, me, Ali, and Mathers, when we were on, you know, at Web Summit doing our own podcast with iHeart, collaborating with them, and we were telling
that was the lead-in. Because my next question is that. But talk about the great stories.
So we're talking with Matt Frederick, who's an amazing producer, by the way. And we're telling him, no matter what happens, AI, you cannot replace storytelling because it's going to be authentic. Like, you know, for generations, storytelling was the main thing, from cave drawings to, you know, grandmothers telling their kids stories and passing that on. As a kid, you know, the reason why I love English so much and reading, because my mom used to tell me stories in Somali. And I remember I went to school for the first time, and a teacher was telling me a story. I was like, hey, that's the same thing my mom was telling me, but this is her version. So then I thought, is there more like this? So I started reading books, and that's how I got into it. Storytelling will always be there.
Yeah.
So how did you guys get hooked up with iHeartMedia?
Cool.
Because you did a podcast from there.
Yeah.
Did the
So we got invited by at Qatar, and at Qatar they love the podcast, what we do, and they said, us, content creators that represent Qatar, we'd love for you guys to be at Web Summit. And then through there, we just contacted Web Summit and iHeart, and they said, yo, you guys come on in, let's do something. We said, why not?
Yeah, it was they reached out.
Yeah, iHeart essentially just reached out through at Qatar.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I think we've had impact while in the year that we've had this podcast now. And like you both mentioned earlier about storytelling, we've been telling, there's been amazing stories that have been told on our podcast to really showcase and give an accurate depiction of what Qatar is through locals, businessmen, expats. We've touched upon a lot of different pockets, and we've shown it in an engaging manner. So I think because of that, iHeart was quite interested. And obviously, Ahmed mentioned earlier about us having Matt, Frederick, Jordan, Ronta. These are top producers on iHeartMedia to come on our podcast, and they gave us that, validation. They're like, okay, you guys are actually, what you guys are doing is really, really, is really good. And obviously, we're quite new to all of this. We're just three friends that just, we would have been talking anyway, but now we're just doing it in front of the camera. So it was quite a surreal experience. It was very.
But what's amazing about you guys is that not only your story, but you're in the studio and you're outside the studio. Like, and that's a amazing idea, because I saw you went to dates.
Yeah.
But you're showcasing, and I want to elaborate on it. Not me, but I want you guys to elaborate on the fact that you're in studio and outside the studio, and what prompted that idea to just do some stuff going around Qatar.
I think that comes at
Ahmed, like I said, he's a social media mastermind behind all of this.
Yeah.
So that sort of content is what helped me grow over the last. I think I started content like I first made a TikTok account in 2021, and the whole gimmick I used to do was just showcase my life, my mom's background, roasting me a little bit, having fun with her. I had pets. I used to show them around, and then that helped me grow into like 50,000 followers, and I wasn't even trying, by the way. And then when we came to Qatar, I thought to myself, I like doing this. Let me just continue over here. But when you get to a certain age, I got the pressure of, when you're making a movie and people look at you, are you a grown man? You're making TikToks. It's boring. I thought, what, fair, man. Like, I need to stop this whole TikTok thing. And then that's when Ali said, you know what, keep going, don't give up, keep pushing. It'll grow into something amazing. So I thought, fair enough. So I kept doing my own thing, the whole social media, the showcasing Qatar. And I thought to myself, if I could do that in the UK, I could do it in Qatar, and it just worked out. Well, people love it. Like and we're doing unique content. We're not doing ads. They're not ads. It's generally a place that we go shopping and we love, because I like dates and they help me give a lot of energy. I love honey. And it was just from there.
And also, we touched upon earlier, we see ourselves as like the cultural front door of Qatar. We don't just want to be sitting in a studio talking about how, amazing our experiences have been. We want to really be on the front lines and showcasing, this as well, and going to certain places. And people generally love that. I think that garners in a whole different audience.
Yeah.
From tourists to people that are in Qatar that haven't seen this place before, that might not have even known about dates. So that's something we also want to touch upon.
And honey,
Dates.
how do your students feel about this?
Oh, they love it.
They're our biggest supporters, to be honest.
They're the live feedback. They're the ones that tell us, oh, do this or try this, or have you been here, or something's coming up, because they're really connected within the country. And if they like something, oh my God, they run with it. Every time you see this is my morning routine. Wise guys, and they'll comment and they love it. And for example, we had sports day, and we needed a team for my team. We didn't make up a team. I was like, I'll figure it out when I get there. Got to the place, the kids already sorted it out. They got banners saying Wise Guys, Team Wise Guys. I'm thinking, wow, I'm loving this. I might kick these two out. So it was beautiful. So they really embrace it. And this comes back to the whole motivation when we're talking about the teaching, because they can really connect with you. They see what you guys are doing out, and you're real people. They don't see you just as a teacher. They see you as someone, you're teaching me here, but I can also watch you in my home. So they take it as a actual motivation. Oh, how do you guys do this? Wow, you're learning Arabic. Use this phrase next time, sir, or say it this way. So it's constant live feedback, and it's
Also in real comment section.
yeah, it's a real life comment section.
In real time. In real time.
And if we do a bad video, not bad video, if the video's not engaging, I think, hey,
I'll tell you.
it needs to be promoted, man. Just that one, no.
I understand. Some podcast guests, they might be like, "Oh, that was bro. Say that one for you, boy."
Yeah. Do this.
How has fame in Qatar, has that hit you? Do you saw places and people know who you
Well,
are?
I don't see us as having fame.
So it's
Recognition,
weird.
though.
Yeah,
Recognition.
I don't know that that fame word is we do get recognized is a good thing, but still that fame I don't see it all famous yet. Yeah,
Recognition.
The country has really taken to us, though. Because obviously our content is clean. We tell the guidelines because we're teachers. We're doing respectful content, and we're showcasing Qatar, how Qatar really is, and we're platforming these amazing stories, and we're sharing our experiences, and I think the country's really taken to us, and because we're showcasing different types of people, all people in Qatar shows love. From you might get like today, I was it was a random security guard stopped me and say, "Hey, I love your podcast." And then another time there'll be like a Qatari will say, "I love your show," in their car, like in the red light. I love the show. This is amazing,
And the parents, like parents will be like, "Oh, I don't teach your son, by the way," but the parent will come over saying, "Yeah, we were watching you. My kid showed me this," and we're like, "Wow, thank you." Like it's genuine hospitality, and they see that we're being real. We're just being genuine.
And we don't go for viral clips. We're trying to connect to our audience. So you look at the numbers, they're not big, but the influence we have is huge because we created a family, basically.
Yeah, because what you guys have, your influence has gone beyond Qatar. Obviously, that's why we're here. So the numbers, your numbers are good. I don't want you to sit there and beat yourself up.
No, Ahmed's numbers. He's like, I want to get 5 million every video.
No,
That's why he wants millions over there.
But it's come because you're having tremendous impact.
Yeah.
One of your goals is to inspire.
Yeah,
100%.
exactly.
What does inspire mean to you?
That's
The word inspire. What does it mean to you?
For me, the word inspire means for someone to look at me and say, I could do that too. Give them inspiration to do what I'm doing. For example, like nowadays, some kids, social media is a facade now. A lot of people hire a studio, they put the camera on themselves and they talk about numbers they made last month when it comes to trading, but they're lying. So I don't want to lie to people. I just want to say I'm a teacher, I'm a normal guy, I could do this, you could do this. Simple as that.
I mean, inspire can also, is also instilling like a sense of motivation within people. And that's why I think the podcast, we try and have different types of guests on where people can be inspired by them. We're also trying to be inspired too, so we're having these amazing conversations where not only are we inspiring people watching, we're also being inspired by our guests. That's what we need you on the podcast.
I'm coming, brother. I'm coming. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to dinner. And we're going to tell Ahmed to come a half hour late.
Yes.
Because you see, the public, y'all don't know that amongst the wise guys, if you're late, you have to pay. So we're going to make sure Ahmed could we'll meet at 1 and he'll come at 1:30. There you go. Very done. Got you.
It depends on the rest. You guys are eating caviar, I ain't coming.
What's next for each one of you individually? And then collectively?
I mean, individually, we haven't really thought like individual. We're brothers. At the same time, though, we are aware that, we all have different facets, different interests, different strengths. Even though we're collective and we're multifaceted, like we try and we're giving each other roles. Like, for example, Ahmed, he does the communications. He's the one that liaises and talks to people. He's done a phenomenal job. So all these guests you see us get on is through him, contact him through DMs. We've never paid for it with guests. We've never paid for anything. It's just through sheer communication. But what he's really good at, it's not just the communication, it's also afterwards, maintaining those relationships on our behalf, so he is phenomenal with all of that. And of course, like we said before, like the creative direction with the other videos outside of the podcast, I'm more centered towards the podcast, the clips what clips are going out, what sort of questions, what direction we want to go with the episode and the guest. And then Maddar's distribution, he's looking at that because that's a big focus of us, especially with Spotify, with YouTube. But at the same time, even though we've got these sort of distinct roles, we're all sort of interchangeable, but it just means that everyone has the value that they're putting in, even because ultimately we're teachers and that's our biggest priority. It takes up a lot of,
our time, yeah.
yeah, a lot of sort of that. This takes a lot of sort of workload off us, meaning we can focus on our priority, which is the teaching, and it breaks it up. So I think we've developed different sort of strengths. I think we'd always keep the podcast what it is. We want to keep growing it, but of course, if other opportunities come, like Ahmed's, he's done phenomenal as Arabic.
Elite.
That could probably lead to a lot of things, in the future. That's something he can go and do. Yeah. And regardless, whatever he goes and does individually, we'll always have this podcast that we have as a collective. If I do something, we'll always come back to this podcast, So that's our mindset. So right now, we're just focused on obviously growing this podcast.
Yeah.
As having impact.
Yeah.
What else you're saying?
Yeah.
All right. For you, Ahmed, since you're the one that books the guests, give me 3 guests that you would love to have on the show.
For me personally?
Yes.
Oh, that's a tough one.
You could have anybody.
All right. For me personally, I'd love to have this will sound wild, but if there's a chance to ever get this guest, I would be honored to have him. This person has done so much for the country, elevated the status of the country, made Qatar what it is with his family. I'd love to one day have His Royal Highness Sheikh Tamim on an episode, and talk to him about how Qatar was built from the ground up. Because when I first came to Qatar, my first year, right, I used to see a lot of pictures of the royal family around places, and I used to think, coming from the West, it's different. You're thinking, okay, I never saw this before. Like, why did I like this guy so much? Then you live in the country, you learn about the culture, the history, what he done for the country, what the royal family did for the country. You're like, you know what? Now I get it. Yeah. Now I get it. Because Qatar is a small nation, but the influence it has is huge. Look at the sporting events. Yeah. Like, it's become the capital of sports right now. Like, if there's a sporting event, it's happening in Qatar. Like, basketball is coming soon. We have the World Cup. We have the Asian Cup. There's so much going on, and it's just one small nation. And they give such a huge influence, like Web Summit. How many people travel from all over the world just to be at Web Summit Qatar? So I just want to know about that.
That's one.
Second one, this is as a kid, I used to watch a lot of Sylvester Stallone. So Sly, man, I need to have Sly on the podcast. Talk about Rocky, talk about Tango and Cash, just talk about the 80s movies, bodybuilding, all that stuff.
Sly Stone wasn't in Tango and Cash.
Yeah, he was. Tango and Cash.
Oh, I was getting questioned actually. When it comes to Sylvester,
the thing is, you're going to be wrong, sir. Because when it comes to Sylvester Stallone,
this guy is his number one.
Kurt Russell, Sylvester Stallone.
Kurt Russell, Sylvester Stallone. Yeah. Oh, I know Kurt Russell.
Yeah. Tango and Cash, yeah.
It was Mel Gibson.
Nah, you're confusing it with Lethal Weapon or something else. Tango and Cash.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to look that one up. We'll go number 3.
Number 3? I think number 3 would be, I'd love to have my mother on a podcast.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, I'd love to have my mother on a podcast.
Oh, by the way, his mom is funny.
Yeah.
If you want anybody to get roasted, his mom's top tier roaster.
My mom's the reason I have social media. She's the one that gave me the platform.
She's a social media star. Yeah.
Oh, I'm telling you.
I remember one video one time I was recording of him is calling his mom and she's just roasting him. He got like 500k views in like 2 hours. I was
Yeah, my mom's elite. She's like the 4th member of Wise Guys. So actually, what are you guys doing today? Yeah, she's
All right, I love
3 guests. How do I go after those 2? Okay, hey, that's crazy. I mean, look. Obviously, when it comes to guests, we all have these conversations. Dream guests, I've never actually thought of a dream guest. I've always just been next. I know you probably look at it like, this guy's too politically... I'm trying to be politically correct, but I mean, yeah, the Emir would, His Royal Highness Sheikh Tamim would be a phenomenal guest. Not just the countries, like what this country has become.
No, wait a minute.
On a global stage.
Listen, I share that. So on that same day, you do their podcast, and you have to have the Sheikh on.
that would need.
I mean, I think that's like a crazy dream, by the way. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think that'll ever come to fruition. But yeah,
Don't say that. Don't put that.
Inshallah.
Don't say that.
Inshallah.
Keep it positive. You never.
yeah, inshallah.
That did not sound believable. Inshallah. Yeah.
Do you know why? Because I said this to the students one time and they all start laughing. They say, keep dreaming. I'm like, what? Are you crazy? But yeah, I don't, yeah.
Who else
What's
did
it to you? What about you?
Who I'd get Hazard, footballer, my favorite ever footballer. He roasts me through. If I can get him, I'd get him on the pod. And another dream, Joe Rogan, Pinnacle of Pop Podcasts. And I'm definitely not going to say no to that. Third is tough.
You know who'd be good? LeBron James. FIBA 2027 is in Qatar. It's going to be the greatest basketball events, I think, of all time. If we're just judging of the World Cup, what happened in Qatar for the World Cup, FIBA, you know, that's like the international football, you know, competition. When it comes to Qatar, hopefully LeBron, that'll be like, you know, he'll still be playing, he'll still be cooking, and he'll lift the trophy. If we could get LeBron on the podcast, it would be crazy.
And phenomenal.
The wide shot probably needs to be a bit wider. But hey, that would be crazy because he's had a great career.
That's a good one. That's an amazing one.
So this podcast will probably air during or probably after Ramadan. What are some of your hopes, each one of you, for Ramadan? We approach.
For me, it's definitely finish the Quran. And every Ramadan, that's something that I try to do. So again, this year, I'm going to try to do it twice. Aim for the first 15 days finish, second 15 days to finish the whole Quran. And again, that will be, I'm trying to do it for my late mother. May Allah grant her soul to highest of Jannahs, I mean. And just on her behalf as a family, we always try to do that. So that's my main goal for this Ramadan. How about you guys?
Yeah. How do you follow that, This is saying, crazy. But yeah, similar. You know, I want to read the Quran. We're always obviously in this perpetual cycle to improve. My father is going to be here as well. So I want to spend a lot of time with him. You know, just having proper chats, reading Quran with him and things like that. But yeah, reading the Quran, finishing the Quran, Taraweeh, praying as much as we can. Last year I led Taraweeh in this country. It's a crazy. About that. So I was Imam for Taraweeh last year in Qatar, which is crazy because I learned Quran in the UK. I'm in a Muslim, you know, Arab country, and I'm leading, you know, here. My father's going to be here too. So inshallah, you know, if we can run it back, you know, it'd be crazy. So yeah, inshallah. Hopefully we'll have a.
That's amazing.
Yeah, season 2.
Inshallah.
Ahmed.
Oh, it makes it simple. I just want to spend time with my brothers, man. That's about it. You know, go to the mosque with them, eat with them, record content, just the usual.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
What are your goals? What do you want to get out of this Ramadan?
I would love to spend more time here. I'm going to be here for the first few days. And I want to experience what a Muslim country, being in a Muslim country, feels like. My goal is to finish Quran, inshallah, during this month. But just this experience. And I hope next year, inshallah, I can do the entire.
That'd be beautiful.
Yeah, but this year, at least I could start.
Yeah.
You know, alhamdulillah.
We'll start together. We'll all break our fast together.
Please,
And
let's do that. I'll be here.
Yeah, Ahmed, you're still paying.
I'm not going to pay. I'll pay this one because Ramadan. I'll get extra reward. I'll pay this. This one time though.
Listen, you guys are absolutely amazing. I really enjoyed this because just from viewing you in New York, I didn't know the depth that you brothers have. Your love of Islam, your love of the deen, your love of your families, your love of your job. You know, it's like love is not always an amorous expression. Love is principles carried into practice.
100%.
You guys are definitely principled men.
Hearing that from you makes us so proud because, you know, you're a legend in the game. You know, you're very known in New York. You know, you had a lot of influence. And then someone of your stature telling us this is just giving me goosebumps, man. So I appreciate that.
No,
I appreciate that, man.
because it's important that we give each other praise because we're fighting in an adverse world, particularly coming out of the United States. When you walk out the door,
God up.
yeah, it's impossible. Like I was at Juma yesterday, and a brother put his hand on me, and I was ready to,
Yeah.
you know, that's the mentality,
Yeah.
you know, because he said, brother, what's wrong? And it's my man, you know. I said, I'm sorry, from New York. It's my reality, you know.
You're right.
And that's something that you have to learn, like here.
100%.
Like I was with another brother of mine, and he left his key in the car. I said, what are you doing? Like, you know, nobody's going to steal it.
Yeah, no one's going to see it.
But so we come from a different perspective.
Yeah.
And to see you brothers and what you accomplished and what you're accomplishing, it makes me proud.
Oh, that's good. Thank you so much. That's amazing to hear. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, that's big words. Big words coming from you, man.
I'll wait to have you on our podcast as well.
I'm coming, brother. I'm here. I'm going to do it.
And this time you're going to be in the hot seat.
Yeah, that seat will never get hot. I'm always cool, brother. I'm always cool. Now we're gonna play a little game. I'm gonna bring some New York into the New York hip hop into it.
Okay, let's
You're
do this.
going to tell me as a collective.
Let's do
Make a
this.
decision as a collective.
Let's do this. He better count.
I'm on West Coast.
Who are you going to choose? Choose one.
Okay.
The one you're gonna put to the side. The one we're gonna move forward with.
Okay.
Jay-Z or Nas?
Jay-Z or Nas?
Jay-Z or Nas? Are we talking everything or
Everything.
as a package? Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
I'm choosing Jay-Z as a package. Jay-Z. Yeah.
You know that Nas package looked pretty good too.
I'll choose Nas, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll choose Nas. Man.
Okay, so we got two. So
We got 2v1 Jay-Z.
two Jay-Z. Okay, now we're gonna move forward. Jay-Z or Kendrick Lamar?
Jay-Z.
I think that's a no-brainer. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
That's straight
Jay-Z, man. Come on.
I think that's straight Jay-Z. Straight Jay-Z, you know?
Kendrick Lamar, man.
Kendrick is
Got two from Jay-Z.
Jay-Z. I said, come on. Even though Kendrick is killing it now, but
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z or 50 Cent?
Oh, no.
50's my guy. 50? You're the guest. You're my first guest. 50.
50 Cent is number one for me.
50 Cent?
He's on my top five.
Many,
Number one.
many.
His social media antics are funny as well.
Get the strap.
His whole story is amazing, man. Getting shot 10 times, you know, smoking everybody like Ja Rule. Ja Rule's like Ja Rule. If you look at Ja Rule's a GOAT, he's a legend himself. But what? Because
When he all the tickets.
yeah,
For front row.
Oh, that was crazy. That was crazy.
and also what he did for G Unit, like Tony Yayo, you know, Lloyd Banks, you know, helping those guys up.
You see Tony Yayo and
Tony Yayo.
Houston.
Joe, yeah, but Tony Yayo rides out for him, man. Respect that. I fully respect that. I love their relationship.
Yeah,
With 50 Cent.
I think they met when you guys met as proud as kids.
One thing I like about 50 Cent is that sense of brotherhood as well. Like that community, right? You look at a lot of these other people you mentioned, and like you don't see the early people still around as much. You know, it's those different circles. But
There's a lot of business.
I respect when they've got the same people, or they still look out for the same people. That's a huge respect. I like.
All right, put your bid in, because 50's that kind of guy. Look at that camera and tell 50 you want him on the podcast.
Hey, 50. I want to be on another show, let alone the podcast. I want to be on a movie. Yeah. Forget the Wise Guy. Put me on Power or something. That's what I want to be on.
You forgot about us already.
Yeah, I know. We were just talking about the brotherhood. The brotherhood of 50.
Tell you the time.
No, Ahmed, look in the camera and ask 50 to cut. Tell
And then on a serious note, 50, we're the biggest podcast in Qatar. Couple of brothers. We started about a year ago. We'd love to have you on. It'll be an engaging episode. We celebrate your successes, your on and off the camera, everything you've sort of achieved. And yeah, man, you've always got a home in the Wise Guys Qatar.
Yeah,
It'd be an honor, man. Cause
and tell him that you're going to take him to one of the best restaurants.
oh yeah, I'll pay this time for sure. I'll pay all of it. And listen, 50-50 if you
I
want.
love Somali food as well, but Somali, we need to Somali. We love 50 Cent.
Hey, listen, I got beat up by that because of you, by the way. Because I stole my dad's phone, right? And I put like a 50 Cent ringtone in the club, and then my dad heard. Hey, 50, come on, man.
Yo, you have no apology. Yeah.
You owe him. You owe him.
Welcome to Qatar.
Listen, we're going to stop there because we're going to make sure 50 gets this. Okay, Wise Guys, this has been a great show, great conversation. Now, I want you to look into that camera there and tell people how they can get in touch with you, follow you, etc.
Go. Shout out, you in the middle.
So Instagram, at Wise Guys QA. Email it'll be everything, all the details sort of
Yeah,
down there as well.
just all social media platforms. Wise Guys Qatar. You'll find us.
Yeah, you'll find us on there.
just said that.
Yeah. Emails wiseguys@gmail.
It's all there. It's all there. It's all there.
You find us all.
And please reach out if there's any questions that you do have. If you want to move to Qatar, if there's any sort of misconceptions that you have and you just want to ask questions following on from this episode, there's things you want us to go in a bit more depth, we're more than happy to do that. It's been an absolute honor to be on this amazing platform as well. I think this is the first podcast we've been on that's not been ours.
Yeah.
So it's
Really?
been quite rare to be on this side of the seat, you know, of getting questions. So yeah, it's been really good. And obviously we're with a veteran. So a lot of learning has been taking place.
Yeah.
as well.
So this is the first of many because you guys are becoming world phenomenons.
Oh,
You know,
so you say that every
Like,
time. I'm
gas.
putting down the bio, but I'll do that right now. Matter of fact,
Well, phenomenon is crazy because
phenomenon.
and the impact, you're having impact. You have an impact locally, you have an impact nationally, you have an impact internationally. So keep doing what you're doing because you're doing a fantastic job.
Thank you for that.
And I can't tell you enough how proud I am of you
No, I appreciate it.
because you brothers are representing the dean well. You represent your family as well.
Appreciate that.
And tell me, before we leave, I wanted you to talk about the love that you have for Somalia.
Oh, see, Somalian, fun fact, back in the day, they were known as the land of poets. And poetry is something huge, coming back to storytelling, coming back to the podcast. So that land there, it's every time I do go back, I try to go back every summer. It's nothing but absolute love. You'll go there and you'll see family members, relatives, friends, and it's an actual community. You feel, I can't even describe what I feel apart from just genuine love every single time. That's all I can say to it. What about you guys?
obviously the country right now is not, is not going through the best of times. Inshallah, of course, this does change. There was a massive war that happened in the 90s, and it led to, a lot of Somalis leaving their homeland. So you've got a lot of pockets of the diaspora in America, Minnesota, you've got in London, you've got them in Toronto, you've got them all over Europe as well. We stick together. But one thing that, our families push for us to do is always excel and, take education seriously. And we've always got in the back of our heads, because we're like the first generation that have sort of left, that have grown up outside of home. We've always got in the back of our heads of, hopefully one day going back and everything we've learned from being global citizens, bringing it back to, the motherland, and hopefully doing it properly, building the country in a proper way and making it into a country that can contribute on an international stage, on international level. Yeah, man, we've got a love for our home countries, and of course, being in Qatar and you see how patriotic people are here, and I'm sure in America is also the same thing. It's very inspirational to see, and it makes you always think back of, okay, wow, like imagine my country could be this successful. Yeah,
I agree. Nothing else to add. That's perfect. Perfectly summed up by both of them.
Alhamdulillah. Brothers, thank you so much for coming on
Pleasure.
Oasis. This has been a great experience for me. So much great information that you shared to help my personal growth and development. I wish you nothing but success.
Thank you so much for having us.
Likewise. Genuinely likewise. Thank you.
Alhamdulillah. All right, this week's edition of the Oasis with the Wise Guys of Qatar is over. Assalamu alaikum.